But when price came back down to it, this was just textbook, bro. Like trading is easy. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep saying that. I'm gonna just keep saying that, bro. Like, and you guys got to do it as well. Speak it into existence. Trading is really easy. Just like you guys, you say like, putting on your shoes is actually really easy, right? Like, I would hope so. Tying your shoes, brushing your teeth is easy. Why don't you speak that about trading? Trading is easy. It really is. Indices could have a very good day in the market. Let me take all those off and just look at clear technicals for a second. Hmm. If price maintains above here, buys are valid. If price breaks below here and starts trading below here, sells are valid down into 24,430. If price starts breaking above that 1 minute wick, price could potentially start trading bullish. Looks like price could potentially keep going bearish too. It really just depends. Right this second, price is holding at support, but that can easily change here in 2 seconds. Okay, price is flipping bullish now. If buys are valid, price can have a nice swift push up to potentially this resistance range up here first, and then up. So for me, TPs like for buys would be here, here, in this range, and then up into here. When price breaks above, all the way up there. Those are buys. If buys are valid, right? If buys aren't valid and price starts breaking below this area, then here, and then down into here. But it looks like buys are looking pretty clean. If I can even pull out a Fibonacci, right here to here. Oh, look at that. Negative 27 extension lines up perfectly. 50% Fibonacci. Rejection. Yeah, that lines up pretty clean with that. So I see that I don't need that no more. Trading is so easy, bro. Trading is really easy. Like trading is honestly easy, bro. Psh, trading is so easy, bro. It is just easy. Easy. But you guys see how like it gets to the point where it becomes so easy. I did a full analysis on what I was looking at for buys. Literally a couple of minutes before the market up. I didn't even look at NAS. That was my first time looking at NAS. Because I was just focused on Go, but that was my first time looking at NAS. Did a full analysis. Just like that. And that's the thing about it. You got to be able to have those quick reactions of what you'll be looking for. Obviously, I said that if price held its support here, the buys are valid. Price held its support. The buys were valid. So I got in for the buys. First TP is up here in this resistance range. If price breaks higher up into this range. Trading is easy, bro. It's really easy. All it is just a matter of simply just waiting. And for me, what I was seeing down here was very, very simple. Like price was really holding its support. It rejected it, rejected it, rejected it. And once I seen this, because you can see the wicks were going lower and lower and lower every time. None of the wicks actually like broke above and started trading bullish, except for this one. That was the one that I needed right here. Boom, price came up, this quick higher low, and then now it's potentially pushing up. So now, regardless of the fact at this point in time, this is a risk-free trade. Entries were phenomenal, beautiful down here. Obviously, stops was below this area because if price did not maintain as support here, then price could have potentially broke below and continue to come down to the next area of resistance. So, I mean, not resistance, support. So, I'll see how this trade plays out here. Stop losses are actually going to go in profit a little bit more. Might not be an opportunity to scale in. The only like scale in opportunity that I would see that would probably happen on like a 5 minute or 1 minute would be price like maybe coming down to this area right here, create like a wick right here, like a little wick, higher low wick right here, and then continuing to go bullish from there. It's like really the only thing that I can see really on us right this second. Let me take off all my drawings on Trade Locker and just look at it clear as day here. Um, I might close one of my positions here pretty soon too, honestly. Let's see. Because I see a bunch of times in a 1 minute price is rejecting this area. If it starts flipping bearish right here, see price is rejecting this area a lot. If it keeps flipping bearish and starts rejecting it a lot more, I'm going to secure one of my positions because I was a big pump up. So yeah, I'm going to secure a position and now I'm going to let the other one run. Other one is in profit either way. So now I just secured one position. Now I'm letting this other one run to potentially, remember that higher low that I was talking about that could potentially form? This is what I'm going to be looking at right here. So that's one position secured. Now price is right here at this area, back at this area. We're looking at the higher low to form. And if I can get in scale and opportunity, I'm gonna get in. Let's see. To the 1 minute so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Price is here, rejecting it. If price maintains a support here, I'm going to get in for buys again, and I'm gonna move all my stop losses above that area. Price is maintaining a support. Beautiful. Trading is easy, bro. Trading is so easy. Trading is really easy. Let's see. So price came down into this area of support. It did reject it. It is holding as support. Now this is the next resistance range to look for price to potentially get up into. here. And what I'm gonna do is I want to take off a lot of the drawings because I don't need it. I want to try to keep my charts as clean as possible. When I'm live trading, like when I'm marking things up, yeah, but when I'm like live trading, I want to keep my charts as clean as possible. Because a lot of times, like if I have a line right here or whatever the case may be, the momentum that's in the market now is different from the momentum that was in the market here. And price could literally just regard this or regard my negative 27 extension or whatever the case may be and just keep on going up. So I want to focus on candlestick analysis. Obviously, I'm keeping my key areas in mind. Like I don't need to draw them up to see the key areas, but I'm keeping them in mind. But I'm going to focus on the candlestick analysis per trade. 5 minute, after all that 5 minute just closed. 15 minutes still has 4 minutes left to close. So I want to see what this 15-minute candle looks like once it closes in the next 4 minutes. And yeah, it's the only candle really I should be focusing on right now is the 15 minute. It's another calm day. It's another calm day. It's another one of those calm days. And it's like that's why I say, bro, trading is not hard. Trading is very, very easy. Like, let's say for example, you as the person. This is like I want to keep like sharing these gems with you guys to show you guys how easy trading really is, and people make it so complicated. If you were somebody in this move, regardless, I don't care if price keeps shooting up and the candle doesn't close or whatever the case may be. If you were somebody where you just made $2,000 in 15 minutes and you don't need to trade no more, you don't want to trade no more, you're grateful for that 2,000 and you just want to close the 2,000 and withdraw that whole 2,000 that you just made in 15 minutes and literally go travel somewhere, go buy you a plane ticket and go travel to Europe or some like secluded place or just whatever the case may be, do it. You don't have to be in the market and catch every single move that happens in the market. That's the point that I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all. I start to get to the point where it's like a move like this would be $50,000 or $30,000. 20,000, like $50,000, 30, 40, $50,000 where I can literally catch this move and just close my trades and be done. And let's say I have a family, right? I just made $50,000 in 15 minutes and now I can spend the rest of the day with my kids and my wife and my animals or whatever the case may be and go be a blessing to others. I have no problem with, let's say, closing out all the trades right now. And with that mindset, when you have that mindset, when you aren't making the $50,000, you're going to get to the point where you're making $50,000. And that's me. That's my mindset. I know even though I'm not making $50,000 now off of this move, I know there's going to be an important time that I do it. So I already operate like that. So that means if I were to close these positions right now, I would not be upset that I closed these positions, even if price still kept on shooting up. When you have that mindset, it makes trading easy. It really does make trading easy because instead of focusing so much on, like, let's say this big move that happened, right? And you made, don't even say only. Take the word only out of your vocabulary. That's why I'm not saying only. And you made $100 off of this big move right here. And you're like, damn, 100. Let me keep holding because if I'm up 100 right now and if I keep holding all the way up until I get to up here, this 100 could be, 300 X1Z. I'm gonna just keep holding and just keep holding and just keep holding. And you forget that, bro, you just gained 100 and almost 200 pips from 25.45 to 24, basically 60. This is over 100 pips in 15 minutes. Me, I'm gonna close one of my positions here. Boom. Secured another position. And now I'm going to let that scaled in position run and do his thing. Simple as that, bro. After that, because what can easily happen is you guys know indices. And I'm telling you, indices, if you deal with greed 110%. That was it for me. Greed. Greed. If you deal with greed, trade indices. You ain't gonna have no choice but to overcome that greed. If you deal with greed or if you deal with um FOMO, if you deal with lack of confidence, like hesitation. If you deal with hesitation, trade indices. Just trade indices for a little bit because what trading these pairs will force you to do is force you to overcome that. It's gonna force you to overcome greed because not every time this happens. Like there's you got if you guys trade indices, I know this. I've seen this so many times, and I would rather just be consistent instead of assuming one or the other is gonna happen. A billion cajillion, like I've seen this happen. I'm probably tripping on a billion, but let's say for example, right? You were looking for the sell, like prime example happened Monday or the other day, right? Here, you were looking for sales and Price gave you the sales. You got in here and you got, let's say you had a beautiful entry somewhere up in this area. You had your stop loss above here and Price gave you all of this profit, but you were being greedy and you're like, oh, if Price keeps coming down here, I'm gonna go crazy and make a big number. And look what happens. Immediately in one, just like that one 15-minute candle went up, that very next one 15-minute candle, boom, went all the way up and now you would have lost all that profit just like that. The profit that took you, let's say, however long, it could have taken you 15, 30 minutes to make. You lose it in 5 minutes, just like that, by being greedy and wanting more. And same thing for this right here, what's happening now. Like right here, for example, let's say you were in that well, I was in this trade with you guys yesterday. Yeah, I was in this trade. But when I was in this trade here, imagine if I see price go all the way up and I'm FOMO, I'm over leveraging. If you deal with over leveraging, trade indices. Like if you deal with over leveraging, because now once you see this and you see prices going up, and guess what? You are over leveraging, so now you got to get out of the position. And guess what? Price comes all the way down, and what's that's going to force you to do is going to force you to stop over leveraging so you can stay in the trade. One, this just like how this one wick was bullish in 15 minutes, it came all the way up here and ended up closing all the way down here. This next 15-minute candle could do the exact same thing. It could be come all the way up here, like let's say within the first 10 minutes of the candle, and within the last 5 minutes close all the way down back below here. So that's why I love indices so much, and that's why I love trading it because it really will force you to become a better trader. Obviously, any pair can force you to become a better trader, but indices has those type of move. And you see how my mindset is. It's not about the money. Like the money comes. I can use triple the lot size or quadruple the lot size that I'll use on like NAS on like AUD USD and still make money. It's not about the pair itself, because obviously any pair can make you money. There's people that make six figures just from trading Euro USD that just use crazy lot sizes. So it's not like any pair. No, any pair can make you money. Just use bigger lot sizes. To me, I look at it as how can this help me become a better person? Trading indices, that's why I said trading is very, very easy. And it makes it exciting because when you become humble and you become meek meaning like you're not a prideful person and you're willing to go against your program and to, if you may thought one way, but if God tells you to do it another way, you will choose his way over your way. But you're a humble person, and me, I'm very humble, and I'm like, I love because I asked God to reveal, and like everybody should do this. All the strongholds that you deal with, ask God to reveal them to you. Ask God to deal with not deal with, reveal the things that you deal with in your personal life. So if you deal with like greed and stuff and like all this stuff and you don't know, ask God and He will reveal it to you. And He's gonna show it because when things start happening, you're gonna have those emotions. And when I asked God to reveal that to me, it started being so much magnified when I started trading indices. I realized how much that I did have greed. I realized how much that I used to over leverage. I realized how much of not really hesitation. I never, it wasn't hesitation for me. I never had an issue. I want to say never. Obviously, we all had it. But like one of those like big things, it wasn't hesitation for me. If anything, I was getting in too early. That was it for me. If anything, I was too quick. I was getting in way too early before like candles form and X, Y, and Z. So it wasn't like maybe I should wait one more. Now that wasn't the issue for me. It was just I was getting it way too quick. So it was a lack of patience for me, not over patience. But reveal greed is definitely the number one thing that indices has definitely helped me out and taught me a lot about. Because I would make so much in just one candlestick and just to lose it all just like that by being greedy and trying to get to the next TP or X, Y, and Z. But once I started like splitting up my positions using the trade management, and that's how the trade management came along. Like that's why I say it's all thanks to God. Like the scripture I showed you guys that you will no longer need to be taught my man. Like I'm just a walking testimony of that. Because the trade management strategy, I tell people all the time, God helped me build that. Because I was dealing with greed. I was dealing with it wasn't just greed, but it was greed and gratitude, lack of gratitude. Because like I say all the time, price would, if I was in a buy and let's say for example, I closed all of my positions. And right now where price is at, and I close all of my positions, and I see price keep on shooting up, like I immediately forget all the profit that I just made. I'm like, damn man, like I should have kept holding. I would have been up, blah 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 blah. I would have been up this. I would have been up that. And then as soon as, let's say for example, I close and price were to just completely tank and come all the way down here, then only then am I grateful that I just made that profit. And to me, that's not a happy life to live. Why would I want to live like that as a trader? If I know God blessed me with this, I'm gonna be doing this for essentially the rest of my life. Why would I want every single trade to be like that? And that's what you guys got to ask yourself. Why do you like you guys understand and realize that you are making a choice? It is your choice to deal with all of these emotions that you are on the charts. That is, nobody teaches you that. Nobody tells you that. It's not like something that everybody experiences. No, you choose to feel this way. You choose to have a lack of confidence. It's not the strategy is nothing like that. You just choose to have a lack of confidence. I cannot have a strategy. Like for me, when I didn't have a strategy, I never was not confident that I would become a successful trader. Not a single time. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna be make it. Like there was not a single time that I thought like, yo, I will never make it as a trader. Like, or, maybe this isn't for me. I never had lack of confidence that I wasn't going to achieve it. I knew I was going to achieve it because I knew I was never going to give up. So even if you don't fully have a developed strategy or you're not making money or you're not even trading live, you can still choose to have confidence or not have confidence. And then it's using common sense. You can't have confidence in a strategy that you don't have. If you haven't built the strategy and actually tested the strategy over and over and over again and actually traded the strategy, how can you have confidence in the strategy that you don't have? So that's irrelevant. Confidence isn't even a thing at that point. That's just common sense. You don't have a strategy, so you can't have confidence in the strategy that you don't have. I don't have confidence in, let's say, another trader's strategy, like the way that, let's say, Q Banks trade, because I don't trade the way that he trades, and I don't know how he trades. I don't know what his strategy is, so it's not that I don't have no confidence. I just don't know how he trades. I can't have confidence in the strategy that I don't trade. Um, so that's one thing, like very, very gem. Like you guys choose the emotions. And once I realized that, I'm like, I don't, God bless me with trading. Why would God give me trading for me to literally just live a life of miserable sin when trading is like the best job in the entire world? If you let's all put this into like let's say a beautiful, beautiful, the most perfect scenario, right? Obviously we know it won't be perfect, but let's put this into perspective of what if you actually really did not deal with any emotions on the charts and you literally just traded technicals? What if greed, fear, FOMO, doubt, all of this, what if this wasn't a thing with trading? Just what if? Wouldn't you love trading? Wouldn't you like be so excited? Trading would be the best thing in the world to you. If none of these emotions were a thing, trading would be the best thing in the world. You can make your own money, you can level up in X, Y, and Z and what if it was just technicals? If you put the work in and you found a strategy that worked, emotions was never a thing. It's just the technicals. And all you did was just show up and just trade your strategy every single day. Trading would be the best job in the world, right? So why don't you choose to make that a reality? Simple as that. Why don't you choose to stop having greed, stop having fear, stop having FOMO, stop having lack of confidence, and just choose to be happy and choose to be at peace with this? That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just make the choice. Price hit the third TP. So price hit TP1, TP2, TP3. Got hit. So price is at 770. Basically 100 pips away from 24, 700, the next key 4 hour zone up there. I'll see what happens. I will trail my stop loss. I'm definitely not moving my stop loss way below here. I'm not getting back that much profit. What I'm going to do, I'm not even going to trail it way below there. I'm gonna trail my stop loss like right here. Worst case scenario, price comes down there and stops me out. Trading. Trading itself has nothing to do with emotions. Trading is technical analysis, technicals. Emotions and all this is an extra. Emotions is a normal day-to-day life. You don't incorporate, think, like, prime example, in your regular 9 to 5, do you incorporate emotions? You're like, oh, that's just normal. This person just has a grumpy day. This person X, Y, and Z. That's normal. That's a normal part of life. People had to have emotions. That's normal. We all have emotions. You don't incorporate emotions in your job when you're calculating data or, um, let's say, for example, you work at a restaurant and you're cooking. You don't calculate emotions while you're cooking. It's literally, this is how to cook. They want their steak well done. Cook the steak well done. Emotions is not a single, emotions doesn't come into the play, regardless if you having a bad day or if you're not feeling good, regardless if your customer is being, um, a nasty, rude person, you still could care less. If they want their steak well done, the steak is cooked like this. You cook the steak well done the exact same way. So why is trading something that's like, why do people put so much like emotions is a part of trading? No, emotions is a part of life. Trading just magnifies those emotions. Cooking a steak does not magnify lotions. Cooking a steak does not magnify emotions. Trading will magnify those emotions. That's all it is. It's not that trading is a, and it's not that trading. It's not that emotions is a part of trading. It's that trading just magnifies those emotions. That's all it is. Trading is literally just technical analysis. The market going up, down, your key areas of wherever, however it is you trade. That's what trading is. It's the technical analysis part. Sentimental analysis of what people think, and obviously fundamental analysis that correlates to the market going up. That's common sense, up or down. But um, emotional, like psychology and all that type of stuff, that is normal. That is life. We all have emotions. Trading is not emotions. But the industry teaches us that when the reality is that's just a part of life. If you deal with emotions on the charts, you deal with emotions off the charts. We all deal with emotions. The only thing, and nobody's perfect. You're not always, let's say, out of a million times, you're never, ever, ever going to have greed again. Because think about it. If you plan on leveling up, that's a different realm that you're putting yourself in. If you go from making $100, $100, $100, if you stay in that three-figure range, in order for you to get to that four-figure range, it's not necessarily that you have a force of greed, but it's like you want more. You just want to level up. So you have to put yourself in a different realm. But now where you're seeing no numbers, you can't calculate what's going to happen until you're actually in experience. You don't know what you're going to do until you're actually in that experience. You have confidence that you're going to be able to control it, but you may try to level up and make a four-figure trade, and that 1,000 trade turns into the $4,000 trade because a move like this happened. You wasn't expecting to do that. What are you gonna do? Now it's like you may start feeling greed. You may fall short back into greed a little bit, and you want that 5,000 or wherever the case may be, right? So that's something to always keep in mind. Price hit TP. Oh man, yo, this is crazy, bro. Like this is. I was not ex. No. No, I was not expecting Price to hit this TP in literally 1 hour. I was not even 1 hour in 30 minutes. I was not expecting one 30-minute candle to come all the way up into TP. That is wow. I was not expecting that at all. That is crazy. So what I'm gonna do is move my stop loss below this wick that's forming. If price breaks below this wick, it's gonna stop me out. So if price basically flips bearish, it's gonna stop me out. Let me move my stop loss. After the trade, if the whether the trade stops me out or whatever the case may be, I'm done. I am done. After this trade ends up playing out, I'm not gonna scale in no more because there's nothing for me to scale in. My computer turned off. There's nothing for me to scale in with. But regardless of the fact, I'll see what ends up happening. So hopefully you all enjoyed this call. Hopefully you all enjoyed the gems, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a blessed day, everyone.